Happy, fabulous Friday from Cari Tells the Story. Hey, how y'all been doing? I have been super uber busy, just like you. So I apologize. I haven't been here for a while, but I am back today and I've been so excited because we have a great lineup coming up for June and July. We have Kate Jones coming back on with us at the end of June. And we also have Sarah Schrader. She's going to be coming back on with us early July. And we have a couple other people in between. We don't have pinned down dates yet, but good news today, we have Boyd with Cool. He's going to be here shortly visiting with us. I just wanted to have a little intro before he got here, just have a little time with you guys before we get into it. But there's just so many things going on. I hope your life is amazing. I know I'm excited because I just started school. Many of you know, if you've read some of my posts and my notes, that I'm taking an English course, literature, and it's super fun. And I really love it because obviously we're here to express ourselves, we're here to share our personal content that we come up with that is from our perspective. And then also, I'm here to assist others in telling their story. So, like we've done with many other interviews, many other articles, today we're going to have Boyd with Cool jump on here with us very shortly. And we're super excited. And there's so many things that are happening right now in this world. I know you guys have been probably following a lot of the news. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're completely unplugged and disconnected. I know that today, after I finished my poetry terms, because I'm in the poetry part of my class, I just went outside. I literally just went outside. I had to get away from the computer, had to get away from my phone, and I took my puppy outside in the backyard and I looked at my new plants that I just planted the other day, my jalapeno plant and my tomato plant. And I just let the sun soak me up, real quick and no sound, no internet, no telephone, nothing, just the air, just the backyard. So if you're living that unplugged life and you're jumping on here, congratulations to you. But for those of us who are not completely living that unplugged life all the time, I know that there's a lot of news, a lot of things that are being talked about, high profile exposures, things like that that are happening right now. And I think we're not going to talk about that today, but what I would like to do is, have a conversation with Boyd about this because Boyd has a lot of experience in assisting people when they're having a tough time. And I don't know if you joined us last time with Boyd with Cool, but he had some really great tools that he was sharing with us. And I think he's going to share some great tools with us today. So let me take a look at my phone and see if he has texted me because I know he's going to jump on any second. So hang tight. Let me reach out to him. Let me see. We are on. Okay. So I just let him know that we're ready for him whenever he's ready to roll. But I'm so excited about you guys. You probably saw maybe my recent post that I posted. I'm at 70 subscribers, and that means a lot to me, a whole lot. It means so much to me. Just now, somebody just clicked on my Substack. I've been really getting a lot of follows, a lot of likes, a lot of loves, and I really do love your content. Anytime I go and I share your content, I restack your content, that really means a lot to me because some of your posts, they speak to me. They encourage me, they inspire me. And I'm just so excited to be able to share your content with the people that have subscribed you out there in Substack land. So thank you, family from Substack, so much. I really, truly appreciate you and everything you're doing and all your contributions, all of your content, all of your art, all of your poetry, all of your writings, all of your stories, your short stories, your fiction. That's one thing I would like to do is embark upon fiction. I've never, ever written fiction. I've only kind of just written articles. based on my interviews with people. And so I would love an opportunity to learn how to write fiction. And that's one of the reasons why I am going to school because I really want to get that skill set and master it. And at least, just start learning how to do it. But, it's been a couple months since I've been on Substack. And as you know, well, maybe you don't. I have a Facebook page dedicated to Cari Tells the Story. I have a YouTube page dedicated to Cari Tells the Story. And I also have a book that I recently created and shared via Amazon Kindle. So it is an online book, it is accessible via online. So if you're interested, you could go to Kindle or you could go to Amazon and look for Cari Tells the Story. And it is, in fact, 7 short stories of articles of people that I have interviewed. And so if you want to do that, again, Amazon, Cari Tells the Story. I'd love to have you. Anyway, we got Boyd here right now. Let me see if we can let him in. We're admitting him right now. Hello, Boyd. Can you hear me?
Let's see. Let me see if I'm mute. Okay, am I on?
You are on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Yes.
I
Yes,
see
there
you.
you
I
are.
love it. I love it. Happy
Hi.
fabulous Friday, my friend.
Absolutely. Forgive my tardiness. I was just, I
No,
said, well, we're on.
no, no, you're
Praise the
fine.
Lord.
No, I was just catching up with my friends here, my subscribers here. I'm at 70 right now, Boyd. 70.
Hey, praise the Lord. That's awesome.
I'm
Hello,
so excited.
everybody. God bless you.
Boyd is a wonderful person, and I reached out to him today, guys. Welcome so much, Boyd. Thank you so much for joining us. I feel as though there's a transition going on right now, and that transition is all over the world. For those of us who have people in our lives who have graduated recently, um, that's a transition. And so the parents are transitioning, the children are transitioning, everybody's transitioning. And for those who are having potentially children staying home all day, and maybe the parents are working all day, maybe they're watching a lot of media all day. And there's a lot of media going on right now with a lot of high profile exposures. Gosh, all over the place from the rap world to Hollywood to the government. I mean, just outrageous. And I'm just like,
Sure.
whoa. I mean, it's like, just let me catch my breath, you know? And
Absolutely.
I just feel like it's borderline trauma. I really do. And
Well, it
and so I
is.
just really was like, honestly, I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody right now. I was in tears this morning because I was feeling the weight of the world on me. And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I got to reach out to Boyd and I gotta get some wisdom. So Boyd, welcome to Cari Tells the Story.
Well, bless your heart. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you all for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we know that the wisdom that we seek, it comes from our eternal Father. And he is really, really very excited about imparting his wisdom to us. So we can just be conduits of that kind of love and faith and hope. And it's a good thing. It's a truly good thing. And we have to encourage ourselves too, because you are right. It's pretty chaotic. It's pretty complex. It's pretty thrown off and bizarre. But God, he is so faithful and so good and so awesome and amazing. And even when we don't even know it, I mean, I can think of many days of my life when I didn't really know anything about him at all. And he was still showing up and showing out beyond my knowledge of him. Amen. So he was making a peaceful situation, even
Appreciate
when it
that.
was, yeah, it was
Appreciate that
totally.
point of view, Boyd. For people out there who have a bad taste in their mouth because of religion, maybe they've seen the scandals in their lives. Maybe they've seen the scandals online in the churches. Maybe they've seen personal situations where they are turned off from quote unquote churchianity, okay, or the building,
Sure,
okay, or the
sure,
people, or the
absolutely.
people. Um,
Absolutely.
what would you say? What would you say to them? Because I know that a lot of us right now are very skeptical about organizations, organizations at all.
Hmm.
It's a tough time. It's a really tough time. What would you say?
Well, I just think that it really comes back to the personal development that we have between ourselves and we just need to be personally developed in whatever our faith and belief system really truly is. I think that's the most important thing. Is everything good on our sound here?
No, you kind of popped out.
No, something.
Your sound
Let me see
went
what
like you're in a
happened.
tin can.
Hold
So I'm
on
glad you
just a
noticed that
minute.
because I was like, I don't know what to do about that. Is there something you
Okay,
can do?
so
You're
I'm
better.
not sure. Let's see. Let me
Yeah,
see
you're better
here.
now.
That is better?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're better.
Well, let me
Yeah.
let me get my volume up here. See what's
Yeah.
going on.
Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. So, yes, what I would say is that all of the things that one can be upset about and have a real issue about, they're probably pretty common between all of us. Nobody really likes all of the scandalous things that we're finding out about this and about that. That just puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth. But that
Agreed.
doesn't invalidate the purity and the validity of how good God really truly is all the time. He really is
Fading out again.
he just can't be tainted by all the stuff that we see and witness in the world,
Right.
around us. He
Right.
can't be. And
Right.
so I want to do one thing real quick right
Yeah,
here. I'm
do
going to
your
see if
thing.
I can.
Do your thing. You do your
I
thing and I'll
need to.
just keep talking. So, like I said, we are here with Boyd from Cool and we're talking about the culture right now. We're talking about the culture. And, it seems like we can have our own culture. Like I was talking to you at the beginning of our session today, our meeting, our Substack, our YouTube, our Facebook, whatever. Our conversation today is about, are we unplugged? Are we plugged in? If we are, what are we plugged into?
Good.
That essentially is my summarization of what we're talking about today. What are we personally plugged into, and how does that help us, or how does that hurt us every day? And where's our source? Do we have a source? And is our
Good.
source assisting us, or is our source working against us? So let's go
I
ahead and
kind
do
of.
a sound check. Check one, two, three.
Is that better? Is that
A little
better?
bit better, kind of, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay,
One thing I really do remember, and it's kind of a personal testimony, but I
okay,
mean that's the main thing that I have to draw from.
okay,
Is I knew about God and I'd heard a lot of things about God, but most of the things that I had heard about God, they weren't really true to who God was until I started seeking Him for myself. And when I
okay,
did that, I started seeking Him for myself, and I found that He wanted me to read His Word. I mean, it really became evident to me that His Word and Him, they were one and the same. And
okay,
that if I wanted to know God better, I needed to get to know His Word better. But I didn't really need it through the filtering of one organization or another, or a denomination or another. I really just needed Him to be my source and the
okay,
Word it to be its own source and define itself. And I
okay.
found so much breakthrough in my personal walk of faith just by locking in with God and the Word myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
it just got all the riffraff out the way.
And
And
there
I
is a
found
lot of
out a lot of
riffraff.
things. Yeah, a lot of things people would tell me. Perhaps I look back and I think maybe they weren't even really intentionally trying to deceive me. They may have just been deceived and they thought that's what was real about God and they were sharing it with me. But when I got to seeking out His face for myself and delving into His Word, I found a whole different God than what they'd been telling me about.
Hard,
And
hard.
it was real
Absolutely.
good.
That is
Amen.
good. That's good news. Well, going back to your expertise is you're in and out of the prisons all the time, encouraging prisoners to, like you said, read his word and to have a personal relationship. And, I've actually heard people before say that when they were in prison, nobody came and talked to them. And it just made me so sad because they had no hope. They were in captivity, they were paying their dues, and nobody came and saw them. So thank you for going to those who are in prison um, to give them that option, to let them know that there is a way for them to escape their their sadness, their depression, anything that's holding them in some kind of captivity, whether it's addictions, whether it's a life of crime, okay, whatever it is, somehow, some way they were either framed or they were doing something that they shouldn't have done. They went in there, and so they're paying their dues. But you're going in there with mercy and with grace, and you're saying, "Hey, I have good news for you today." And as we know, there are people that are outside of those prison walls that are actually also inside their own prison walls.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Absolutely.
what would you say to those people, people with addictions, people who are stuck today? What would you say to them?
Well, your hope and your help is just a little further away right now than you can reach. And it all starts with the miracle that exists in your mouth. There is a miracle in all of our mouths. And all we have to do is cry out to God in desperation. And He is a master at loving us. He meets us right at our point of contact. So I would encourage everybody, no matter what the prison they are bound up in, because that concrete cage prison that I do frequently visit is one type of prison. But the prison that you speak of, bound up in sinful things and all kinds of hang-ups and habits and just things that are not healthy for us, that is the prison that Jesus came to set the captive free from. And that's what it's really all about. That's the whole driving force of why I do what I do, is because God met me there in that bound up place. And it was a lot more than just the concrete cage and the wires and the guards and the guns and all that. It was so much more than that. It was the prison of drug addiction and alcoholism and depression and discouragement and violence and rage and anger and fear and all kinds of doubt and unbelief and just just real sickness. And God just met me right there at my point of surrender. I just laid it down at the feet of the Lord. I told the Lord, I said, I know of you, but I don't know you. I ran from you my whole life. I've got nothing to give you but this violence and anger and rage, my heart filled with hate, my filthy mind and nasty mouth. I'll give you every part of me. The guns, the knives, the drugs, all of it. And if you never let me out of prison again for the rest of my life, I'll serve you till I die if you deliver me from these demons. And I mean, I'm talking, Carrie, within 2 seconds, the Lord of Lords was in that cell with me. And
Oh, wow.
I can't even hardly put into words the full on description of what I saw and witnessed and felt happened to
Really?
me that day, because Jesus, He violently took over my life. He
So you're telling
violently
me
set me
before
free.
that he wasn't like bothering you and he wasn't like, hey, believe in me. He wasn't like doing that. He wasn't tapping you on the shoulder. He was just letting
Well,
you do whatever you wanted to do. But then when you cried out, you're telling me he said, "This is my moment and I'm going to take it."
Well, there were many moments in the past that I knew that he was trying to reveal himself to me, but I wasn't trying to hear it. As a matter of fact,
Oh,
I was quite the contrary, trying to avoid it.
oh,
I didn't want to hear it because I knew I had enough sense to know that whatever that was, being communicated about him was going to ruin my sin. I knew it was going to
oh,
ruin my.
you're
I
like, I'm
wanted to
not
talk.
done. I'm not done.
No, well, I just thought I was all caught up in the wrong thing, and
Right.
it was the whole generation of things going on. I guess at that time,
Mhm.
dropout generation of the '60s, so to speak. It was all about Woodstock and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it feels
Sounds
good doing it.
familiar.
I got all caught up in the wrong thing.
Yeah. Oh, you're fading out again.
Okay, so I
You're,
got.
you're,
Let's
yeah.
see.
Hey, it's
Is it?
okay. It's
Is
okay.
it?
It's okay. Everybody has audio difficulty every once in a while.
Is it? Is it
Um,
better?
so if you're just jumping in right now, what we're doing is we're talking with Boyd with Cool. And Boyd has been for over 20 years a successful minister going into prisons, talking to people about his 12-step biblical approach to getting free from hurts, hangups, and habits. And he has been very successful. He's met a lot of cool people. Cool, by the way, is an acronym for Christ over our lives. So, meaning Christ, meaning Messiah, meaning Jesus, meaning Yeshua. Um, you know, Boyd, can I hear you now?
Yes, am I back? Can you hear me okay?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're a little bit better. You're kind of fading out for a second, but going back to what we were talking about a second ago, hurts, hangups, and habits. Everybody has something, whether they're in the prison cell, behind the walls, or outside the walls, living their day, whether they're in corporate America, or whether they're in Hollywood, or whether they're in the government, or whether they're in high school, or maybe in college, or maybe they're a housewife. Maybe
we
they're,
all have
who
pain.
knows? Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's got something that they're dealing with. And so I think we were talking earlier today, and you're going to share just a couple quick things from your personal, based on the 12 steps, your personal approach to those first, I think maybe two, three, four, or one, two, three. I wasn't sure which
Well,
ones you were
yeah,
going to talk
I think one of the best ways to kind of explain that briefly is that the 12 steps that I teach,
about. Hmm.
they break down into four components. And so the first three steps are the give up steps, and then four, five, six, and seven are the cleanup steps. Steps eight and nine are the makeup steps, leaving 10, 11, and 12, which is the keep up steps. So in this process, it's a 12-step process, but it's give up, clean up, make up, and keep up. And so in the give up part, it's usually knocked out. Really, the emphasis is just one prayer, just one complete surrender prayer. And God enters into that life and they become born again. And so at that point, step one, I can't fix me. Step two, God can. And step three, I know I'll let him. So once we get through that process, that's we open up to God. God fills our life with power. And I do mean all power then enters our life, and we find a whole different concept now because the old is gone, the new has come. We're a brand new creation in Christ that never existed before. So now it's time to turn back within our own selves and do some cleanup work. And so the old song says, I've got to clean up what I've messed up because I'm starting my life over again. So in step four, the step reads like this: we make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves and ask the Lord to show us what needs to be confessed, repented of, and forsaken in Jesus' name. So, in that area right there, if you just took a scripture that most everybody, whether they're very Christian or not, whether they're very, endowed with any kind of religious experience or not, they've heard Psalm 23 somewhere along the line. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in the green pastures, leadeth me beside the still waters, restores my soul. He prepares a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. This is step four all over the place because God prepares a table before you and me and anybody and everybody that opens up to Him in this recovery process. To set that table before our enemies, sets it right up before them, causes our cup to run over, anoints our head with oil, tells us straight up, just keep your intent gaze on me. Just keep looking right full into my wonderful face, and let me show you what I'm going to do to your enemies. I'm going to crown them in front of you. I'm going to completely disarm them. I
So
will completely shut their power down.
you're saying that the enemies in this case are the enemies that are keeping us in captivity, such as addictions and things like that?
Yeah, and the greater thing is to
Huh.
think about it's so much more than just the addiction. Yes, it does include the addiction to any particular substance or beverage, whatever. That's there too. But it's the grief, the anger, the violence, the rage, the being abused. All kinds of abuse happens to people's lives. I mean, nobody's exempt from these things. It's physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse. It's verbal abuse, it's all kinds of emotional abuse. People are manipulated, they're controlled, they're taken advantage of, they're not protected properly, they're abandoned, they're rejected, they're cheated on, they're lied to, they're slandered and scandalized, and all kinds of hurtful things happen to people. And all of these enemies need to come and get their place at the table that the Lord has prepared before us and them, because the Lord wants us to know that they no longer have power to destroy us in His name. Now, that's the difference in what I
Ah.
teach and what I gleaned from the secular world. I don't knock the secular world. As a matter of truth, I love the secular world recovery, and any form of recovery, I'm down for it. I am 100% for it. But I will say this, it does, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it matters what we believe. And any old power will not do. We need the power of the true and living God, the creator of heaven and earth. That's who we need in our corner if we want to have this table prepared before us in the presence of our enemies and defeat all of them and quit letting them have airtime to where that they can drag us back into the mess that we were purposing to be free from. And that's where the when you were talking about the things that were disturbing to you, the complexity of all the scandalous things that are going on around the world, and it is heartbreaking and it is very distressful in that way, and that does wear on a person, and sometimes I think that people can almost be at the brink of giving up. And just saying, well, what's the use? I might as well just go ahead and go back to whatever it was I was doing. And I just want to encourage that person. If that person happened to be listening and this could reach them, I would just want to encourage them, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't quit. Just keep pressing in and let God have another chapter of victorious overcoming power in your life, because your life will always be better without whatever it is you've been set free from. And it will never get better if you let it back in. It'll only get worse.
Right.
And so, that's been well proven by a whole lot of us people.
Oh,
That,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
especially older
Wow.
people like me, amen, have really tested that, and that's how it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
That's how it really
Yeah.
works.
Us old
Amen.
folk.
That's
Um,
right.
so wow, that right there is just, I want that to permeate. I want that to resonate. I just want to soak on that. Like they have in, I guess, in the Psalms, Selah. Just, just
Oh
pause
yeah.
on that, right? Just
Okay.
chill on
Yeah.
that. Just chew on that for a second. That is so important what you just said, because life is hard enough. I mean, people are looking for jobs. The economy is kind of getting worse. And I heard some other stuff today on the news, not the mainstream media, but an alternative news source. And it was talking about Iran and all this stuff. And I was like, oh gosh, no. And so it was just a little heavy. And so I think a lot of people are recognizing that it is time. It really is time to have their higher power help them. And if they don't have their higher power helping them, they're trying to do everything by themselves. And like I was this morning, I was a little overwhelmed. And sometimes we have to reach out to people. This morning I reached out to you, and I said, hey, um, do you have some answers? Which I knew you did. And when I'm feeling a little low, I always reach out to people because that's what we're here for.
Right.
Connectivity is super important. That's why we're here doing this Zoom. That's why we join Facebook, and that's why we're on Substack and things like that, because we want to connect with people. We want to not feel alone. We want to feel that, number one, we're heard, and number two, people care about us, and number three, we could help people that are hurting too. So that's why we're here
Mm.
today, because I really feel in my spirit that there is a silent SOS going on. There's like a silent emergency going on. And we have about, it says your internet is unstable, but we probably only have a couple more minutes right now. Are you here right now with me, Boyd?
And
Boyd, hello?